Would XDefiant becoming successful be good for gamers? Short answer is yes. Long answer, well, let's get into that.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hey guys, Nightfall here, and today I want to talk to you about a topic that I've discussed quite a bit in some older videos and even on stream sometimes. It seems like there is a negativity radiating towards XDefiant, and before I go any further, this applies to any game. There are tons of people who hate Call of Duty as well with a passion and would love nothing more than to see it fail and Activision go bankrupt. But let's be just completely honest with ourselves. Barring something crazy happening, that's probably never going to happen for a variety of reasons. But I want to focus on XDefiant specifically here and then give you some examples using games and franchises and even a real world example. So let's look at XDefiant, and you can see there are tons of people preying on its downfall. People out here writing articles on the internet left and right claiming insider information about how Ubisoft is shutting down the game after season 3 or 4, despite people coming straight out at the top of the studio and saying it's not shutting down. I personally have people in my DMs, comments, YouTube section, stream, everything, coming in there with the sole purpose to say negative things about the game, and I guess trying to get a response out of me, like I'm some sort of figurehead that if I crash out on some poor kid on the internet, it's going to spell disaster for XDefiant. So here's a newsflash. I'm not even a Ubisoft partner. So anything I say or do is not linked to Ubisoft in any way. It's my own opinion. And these are the same people who think I've never once criticized this game at all. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. I've done nothing but give my open and unfiltered opinion about this game since it came out. And when they screw something up, you best believe I make it very clear. But despite all the hate towards and from this game to other franchises, XDefiant's success is good for all gamers, not just fans of the game itself. Now, I'll be honest here. I'm not entirely sure how things are with businesses in other countries, but what I do know is that in the US, there are laws and regulations that attempt to prevent monopolies from forming. Hell, that's the whole reason why Ubisoft even has rights to cloud gaming shit, because they wouldn't allow Microsoft to get those when they bought out Blizzard Activision. Point is, monopolies are bad for business and the consumer because it eliminates competition. The best example I can give in a real world scenario would be there's already a large gas station selling gas for $3 per gallon. Then a smaller company builds right up the street and sells their gas for $3 a gallon as well. Well, that's now competition. What a monopoly would cause to happen is the larger gas station to undercut the gas prices of the small one by so much that they're forced to go out of business, even at a slight loss in profit. Then once the other one goes out of business, they just buy up the company or land, or however they want to do it, and now they have zero competition, and they can now jack the price of their gas up to $4 a gallon. Now, understand this isn't the best example because yes, I know there are taxes and regulations and stuff on all that, but now that we all understand the concept, let's translate that back to gaming. XDefiant is the most direct competition Call of Duty has ever seen since Medal of Honor, and that was before online PvP even became a thing, or right around the start of it. XDefiant being around means COD has to be on their toes when it comes to content and everything else about the game that they put out. Because if they keep going down the same path that they've been on with the same formula every single year, people will eventually grow tired of it and leave for a different game. The problem for so long is that there was no competitor forcing their hand and people have been trapped. Whether you realize if you're one of the trapped ones or not, it's true. I've seen a record number of people leaving Call of Duty this year, citing a variety of different reasons for leaving. But I think the real underlying reason is because there's just so many new games coming out that are competitors to a game like Call of Duty. And if you don't believe me or think I'm just full of it, as COD fans have been telling me since this game came out, Black Ops 6 is better than Black Ops 4 and is arguably one of the better Black Ops games that we've got since the old ones. Well, since everyone likes to throw up the XDefiant Twitch viewer numbers, let's turn the tables a bit. Black Ops 4 had its highest average viewer count for the month of just over 85,000 viewers. Meanwhile, Black Ops 6, which I would argue is currently at its peak popularity and its highest average for month, is 61,000 viewers. But if you look over the course of a year, you'll find that every single Call of Duty game follows the same exact pattern. They release It gets popular during the release month, and then it quickly dies down, cutting viewership in half or more by the second and third months of the game. Some of them seem to bounce back during Christmas time, which is to be expected, but some of them don't even have that bounce back. And there's no exceptions. This is true of previous Black Ops games and Modern Warfare, and you can see that Black Ops 6 is on the exact same path right now. And the only reason this initial pattern happens with the release hype is because of a combination of a few things: nostalgia, a promised new feature, and no competition. It's the exact same reason that games like Madden and FIFA follow the same path. More and more people are finally catching on and realizing there's no point. I used to play Madden almost every year, and I enjoyed it until I figured out that some of the game animations and everything in there were predetermined, and the game was no longer about pure skill anymore. And then faced with the hard truth that it's no different than last year's game. It's just the same copy and paste format with a quote unquote new feature. COD is the same way, and now that competition is here, COD fans should be ecstatic to see some competition on the market. Games like Delta Force and XDefiant, a game that can finally make them listen to their players and force them to actually make a new game instead of just copying and pasting with the shiny new toy that they call a new feature. And sure, you can argue that they make money. They're hella profitable. Can't argue that. But the only reason they're profitable is because nobody is stepping up and competing with them. It is not because they make consistently good games. The worst Call of Duty that you can imagine right now has probably grossed an insane amount of money just because of the name. So for all those COD fans wishing XDefiant gets shut down, you shouldn't be. This is going to help your game get better. And to all the XDefiant fans hating on COD, just stop. We want the same thing. We want a good FPS shooter. That's it. We are all gamers. Stop choosing sides and companies and choose us. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and let me know in the comments if you agree with me, or if not, let's hear your take on this, and I'll catch you all in the next upload.